All right. Yeah. What's happening? We're going to talk about authenticity. Authenticity. Big dreams for 2025 today. Good things definitely take time. Consistency, patience, and vision. Consistent vision. Patience with the vision. You got to be authentic. In order to be authentic, you have to know yourself. Temet Nosce. Nosce. Temet Nosce. Which is interesting. I think the interpretation is slightly different in Latin. It's like no in a different way of no, like be yourself, something like that. So anyway, authenticity, very important. Simplicity is not the easiest thing for me. That's an authentic statement right there. There's lots of stuff over here going on in the background of this little library. It does stay pretty fairly neat and organized. I kind of have a little pile over there of some papers that get randomly stacked up pretty constantly. I have to clean stuff out, streamline, minimalize, etc., so on and so forth. So it's just good to know yourself and be authentic about it. Also, you have to be able to have a perspective where it's like, you don't get into the negative. Knowing yourself, recognizing your flaws, you don't want to obsess on them. In fact, you want to find the positive side of them, because everything is like a coin. Everything in this world is a duality. So yeah, try not to control too much. Control yourself. Control your goals, your directionality, your compass. Control your azimuth, like where you're going, which is your arc, your pathway. ADD is a superpower. Can be a superpower. It can be whatever you make it, but it does take persistence. It takes vision. It takes some consistent action. And what is that? Tim Ferriss, it's easier to act yourself into a new way of thinking than to think yourself into a new way of acting. And that's 100% true. It's something that I've demonstrated to myself. Really, there's no one to demonstrate anything to other than yourself. In life, you don't have anything to prove to anybody, except, if you want to be better than the person you were yesterday, you got to prove that to yourself, to your yester self and whatnot. And you got to take care of your future self by proving that constantly to your yester self. Now we're in time warp. Act as if your resources were limitless, because they are, and never stop learning. Every second counts. Yeah, I'm going to post a interview pretty soon here. I'm going to put a couple of interviews up on the channel, and then I'm probably going to just change the format of this and be able to start going through and reading some stuff. And I'm just going to use that as something to bounce off and talk about, because this right now I'm just rambling. I don't know how much anyone's, there are people out there paying attention. I appreciate the people who have tuned in and who have been keeping up with the progress here. I feel like it needs a little bit more refinement to the direction of it. It needs a little bit more definition around it, because it's sort of amorphous and it's just a reflection of my ADD brain, addled, ADD-LED, right? Addled, something like that. And so I don't know how, llamativo that is to everybody, like how attractive that is to watch, for somebody to want to go and like, oh yeah, I want to go watch LJ ramble about random stuff and, not make any points. What's the point of this? This is accountability charts coming back. I'm getting fat over here. You can see like little giblets coming in, back up to like 260. So I got down to 240. I'm right back in the middle now between 280 and 240. It's the holiday season, blah, 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 excuses. I don't know if I had set like a 225 goal. I'm not sure if my frame is going to hit 225. I'm a pretty big dude, but I'm going to go back to 240 as a goal. Get back down there, and then we'll see what we feel like at that point. But yeah, I mean, consistency is hard. Discipline is hard. So to be authentic about it, it's not something I've been able to maintain consistently every day. It's gone from 7 days a week to 6 to 5. The last couple of weeks here, it's been excuses after excuses of, this is going on, that's going on, eating, celebrating, and so things just kind of fall apart because those excuses start to get in the way. Awareness is important. Knowing yourself is important. Being able to recognize those deficiencies without beating yourself up about it is important. Being able to not fall into over-analysis of the paradox, because so many things that are true in life are paradoxical. And so people who tend to focus on these little, this particular thing is not true. If you think about it from this perspective, they're singularly perspective towards one direction. And so they will tend to either go this way or this way, and one will always beget the other. So it's just this constant flux. But if you can kind of accept a paradox of, let's say, like discipline requires you to be hard on yourself, but at the same time, you can't berate yourself. And so there's a paradox that's intrinsic in that type of mentality. And so right now, what I got to do is go re-equilibrate that paradox, get back on my own ass and say like, hey, go back to doing your daily meditations, which I'm doing in a very half-assed way the last couple of weeks, which is to say I'm not actually sitting in Zazen meditation. I'm just listening to some meditation stuff and like sitting in bed, Some people will tell you that's okay. You do whatever you want to do. For me, that's not okay. It doesn't produce the same results for me. So I'm going to go back to doing the meditations. The ice baths went down to about 4 times a week. I did one this morning. I did one yesterday morning. Skip a day. Did one the day before that. But it got cold outside. It just got harder, and it's like, fuck, man, it's like 45 degrees outside. I don't want to get in the ice, but now I'm getting back in it. So that's it. Purpose of this is to just come back to the check-in, come back to the center, come back to the reference point. Journaling is going to be on the agenda here. So maybe after journaling for a while, these will become more coherent. I was writing stuff down in the beginning and actually sort of doing like a journaling / podcasting thing at the same time. And it seemed to bring some direction to it. I got off of that. So that's part of getting back onto it. The morning routine and then the exercise. I haven't been to the gym for a while. I've been eating and not exercising. So of course, back up 20 pounds after 240 was, I probably hit 240 about 6 weeks ago. And so it's taken 6 weeks to get back to the 20 pounds, and it took nearly 6 months to get to the 240, So what do you got? 4-to-1 ratio there. Yeah. Get to work, mother flowers. That's enough rambling for today. I'm going to post an interview with Aaron Gatlin pretty soon here. And then I have another one with my boy JJ, Jonathan Jones. I'll post both of those pretty soon. And I'm going to start putting some of the interviews that I've done with Marlon en Espanol, which is Clandestino's podcast. I'm just going to post them in a list on this channel. I'll probably schedule them to post up maybe once a week or something like that, just to have some consistency on the YouTube algorithm. And then as we continue to film them, I'll just post them up. They're probably not going to be edited very much. They'll be pretty raw. That goes for all the interviews so far. I don't have a whole lot of time to dedicate to editing right now, but it's more about getting it done and getting it out there. And then later you can go back and edit. You can always go back and shut down the channel and re-edit stuff and post it up on a different channel and blah, 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 blah. There's bunches and bunches and bunches of options. The universe is your destiny. You are the master of the universe. I have the power. It's like He-Man, remember? Masters of the Universe. Anyway, y'all take care. Stay strong. Don't hold your breath. Keep on moving.